According to Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu Wu, a general does not have to carry out every order. Sometimes refusing an order is an expression of the highest honor a commander can have. Precisely because of his act, Maximilian Njegovan deserved the honorary title. In the First World War, in the year 1917, it became clear that Austro-Hungary was losing the First World War. This was not clear to the Austrian Emperor Charles I and the German Emperor Wilhelm II. Both of them unsuccessfully tried to persuade several times the Croatian admiral to bomb Venice. The admiral resolutely refused, which brought him into disfavor with the two emperors. Several facts contributed to his decision. Lack of fuel and ammunition for ships, as well as the weak fighting morale of the crew, which was badly affected by the duration of the war. The Croatian admiral showed that ethical and moral principles are above everything, even above imperial orders. Due to the rejection of the imperial orders, Maximilian Njegovan was not dismissed. Such an act is not without similar historical examples.
I want them both dead.
You'll dishonor yourself forever if you do this.
Honor?
In the morning, Admiral of the Yugoslav People's Army Vladimir Borovi took over the post of Chief of Staff of the Split Naval District, but unrest overtook him in the evening. He measured the building of the military complex with quick steps, then went out to breathe in the fresh island air, but deep down he knew there was no going back. His appointment to a new position also meant his consent to any combat action against Croatian citizens. His military honor did not allow him to carry out orders. He wrote a letter that he decided to die an honorable death, because he did not want to wage war against the brotherly Croatian people. He wrote, "Montenegrins cannot fight and destroy a nation that has done them no harm." He also stated his inability to prevent the Yugoslav Navy from operating against Croatia. Borovi stated that the aggression of the Yugoslav People's Army against Croatia was an act contrary to the Montenegrin honor. He had a family, and he was 52 years old. He snuck into the infirmary, rested his gun on his head, and fired. He raised his hand against himself at a time when a good part of his compatriots supported the San Savic and Great Serbia policy governed from Belgrade, and took part in the bombing of Dubrovnik. German General von Dietrich Choltitz did the similar in World War II. He was the commander of the German occupation forces in Paris. That German general revoked the decision to destroy Paris, and at the time, was unsure whether his family would be transferred from Germany to neutral Switzerland. The Swedish consul Raoul Nordling managed to persuade him to do so. The Croatian admiral reached the rank of vice admiral as commander of the Austro-Hungarian Navy. He also reached the position of commander-in-chief of the Austro-Hungarian Navy, which united a triple role: commander of the fleet, commander of the navy, and the position of chief of the naval section at the Ministry of War in Vienna. In addition, he became a member of the Secret Council, which advised the ruler on certain general issues of domestic and foreign policy, as well as on financial and military issues. The members of the Secret Council had a direct influence on the decision-making process in the Austro-Hungarian monarchy. Membership in that council was reserved only for the highest military and state officials. Here he is with the rank of admiral with a hat. He's here with the rank of admiral without a hat. In the naval uniforms of senior officers, in front is Emperor Charles I, behind him, in the middle, Admiral Maximilian Njegovan, on the right, is the captain of a liner ship and a Croat, Janko Vukovic Pod Kapelski. Here we see Emperor Charles I on the left, and Admiral Njegovan in the middle. Decorations of Croatian Admiral Maximilijan Njegovan. Order of the Iron Crown of the 3rd degree, Order of the Iron Crown of the 1st degree, Order of Leopold, Military Cross of Merit, Badge for Military Service, Bronze Medal of Military Merit, Jubilee Monument 1898, Jubilee Cross 1908, Prussia 2nd degree Red Eagle Medal, which is the German Empire Medal, Liberator Medal, which is the Greek Medal, Double Dragon Medal 2nd degree, which is China Medal, Medchedi Ord 3rd degree, which is the Ottoman Empire Medal, Merito Naval 3rd degree, which is the Kingdom Medal Spain. On May 19, 1917, Emperor Charles personally sent to the Admiral the following telegram, related to the Battle of Otranto. By commanding the units of my fleet, which have recently successfully completed the task assigned to them, they have inflicted considerable losses on their enemies, and shown how effective a true naval spirit can be against a numerically superior enemy. If I were to honor you today, Admiral Njegovan, in recognition of excellent successes before the enemy, my order of the first-class Iron Crown with war decoration and swords, then in this commanding decoration my whole fleet can also see how pleased I am with you. I thank all my brave sailors with all my heart, and pray for them the richest of God blessing. He was also praised by the Commander-in-Chief of the Austro-Hungarian Navy, Admiral Anton Haas, with the words, very well versed in all branches of the profession, diverse scientific education, has a positive impact on subordinates, and has their trust. Very diligent and conscientious, with very good results. He commanded the first squadron very well in every respect. Fully suited to his present position, he is suitable for all higher positions and command of larger groups. Prior to that, in 1912, Admiral Haas defended him against the attacks of Rear Admiral Count Langes by giving him unreserved support, and in 1913, Haas proposed that Njegovan replace Rear Admiral Schneller as commander of the 1st Squadron. Njegovan did not marry, and had no children, but devoted his entire life to a military career in the Navy. He was a fat man with happy eyes and a pleasant white mustache, conscientious, educated and decent behavior. He was a typical representative of the old Croatian military border. During his schooling he received grades, eager and active, strives to train through learning, serves accurately and reliably in every respect, to be a good artillery and deck cadet. Njegovan's superiors optimistically conclude that this officer gives reason to hope that he too will be fully accountable in that direction, because he is undoubtedly very capable and has good will. He achieved very good results as a teacher in the Serbo-Croatian language. A very useful, willing and ambitious officer. He is further described as calm, and naval officer with character, whose officer behavior was towards subordinates strictly according to official regulations, who accordingly became a good and reliable training officer, and above all, was reliable and very well acquainted with innovations in the field of sea mines. During his service on the corvette Helgoland, his superiors rated him as an officer very eager to serve with good success, strives for further training and exercises. He has passion and a love of the subject of navigation, and he successfully completed the details of navigation on Helgoland. During his service on the ship Hofer, Njegovan is described as an officer with a lively spirit, excellent understanding, sharp memory, correct judgment, determined, energetic, very honorable, very cheerful mood. He took very good care of his subordinates, and is in every way an excellent naval officer, justifying the best hopes. During his service on the ship Erzherzog Karl, Njegovan was praised as a tactician who is a very conscientious, in every way recommended naval staff officer. During the intensified summer squadron, often under difficult circumstances, he led his agendas as chief of staff calmly and prudently to complete satisfaction. He was praised as a highly recommended officer for his military stance and versatile adaptability. Njegovan was placed at the disposal of Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and briefly served as commander of the yacht Miramar, the imperial yacht which used by many members of the imperial family, including Francis Joseph I and Empress Elizabeth. This information is very important, because it shows that Njegovan was a man trusted by the royal family. It also tells us that he was very loyal to the emperor and the monarchy, because otherwise he would not have received such an honor, to personally command the imperial yacht. After Serbs and Montenegrins were prevented from occupying Shkodra, Njegovan was appointed as a representative of the Austro-Hungarian Navy within the occupation forces to the International Admiralty Council in Shkodra in 1913. Njegovan's abilities included a good knowledge of German and Serbo-Croatian, fluent knowledge of Italian, French, and English, and he used the Morse code very often and reliably. His younger brother Victor served in the army during the First World War, and ended his career with the honorary rank of infantry general, and on March 7, 1917 he was awarded the Hungarian nobility, after which he had the right to add the prefix von to his surname. The outcome of the war hit Maximilian personally very hard. In 1924, he suffered a stroke, which was accompanied by angina pectoris, and only his indestructible humor kept him alive. The admiral's final resting place is Zagreb's Mirogaj. The funeral in 1930 was attended by generals and commanders of the Austro-Hungarian army, as well as the Hungarian ambassador as an envoy of Miklos Horthy. His comrades in arms, the still living Austro-Hungarian admirals and generals, as well as members of the infantry and cavalry units also came. The coffin was lowered with all state and military honors along with rifle plutons and plutons of Polish artillery battalions. The funeral of this extremely efficient and sympathetic officer then again threw the splendor of former glory into his name. Valuable work on this Croatian admiral was written by Carlo Fodor on about 50 pages, who was awarded the Rector's Award 2020 in Zagreb. The link to the work is in the description of the video. Through the fate of Admiral Maximilian, this work shows the fate of the Croatian people in Austro-Hungary during the time of Njegovan. The impression remains, after reading the Croats in large systems, can only fight for themselves with excellence. The paper also shows the influence of socialist ideas and the Yugoslav idea during the sailors' revolt in the Bay of Kotor. These ideas later determined Croatian destiny. After that rebellion, it was announced that Njegovan is retired at his own request, while the real reason was that he refused to bomb Venice, and the rebellion was just an excuse. Fodor's work depicts another fact about the Croatian reality, and that is that the topic of the contribution of Croats in Austro-Hungary the Navy is not dealt with to a greater extent by professional historians in Croatia, but only by history lovers such as Zvonimir Frivijal, who gave the greatest contribution to this topic in Croatian historiography. You can find more videos about Croatian history on English on this playlist on my channel.